The Herbert Raj podcast back to finish off bowl season.
Yeah. I don't know why I
And
do
if
those
you're,
random noises,
yeah,
but
no, sorry, dude. And if you're listening to us on, or if you're watching us on YouTube, you get to see all the beauty. All right,
hello.
yes. Tennessee and Clemson. That's what we're going to pick up with the Orange Bowl. I guess
Yep,
the first of one of our big games. Now, Clubber Lang obviously took over for Clemson.
yep,
Offense very, very dangerous. Tennessee, I would most likely pick them in this game if they had Hendon Hooker. I
right.
know Milton has been their
Milton's
starter,
pretty good. Yeah,
so he is pretty good. But I just feel plus Hyatt he declared for the draft too, right? So I don't
yep,
even know if he's playing in this game.
yep.
I just feel like I'm picking Clemson. You know, obviously Clubber Lang is going to play and want to make a good impression here. Tennessee just kind of limped to the end of the season there. I'm taking Clemson for that reason. If they had Hooker though and Hyatt, I'd take Tennessee.
I, I'm with you 1,000%. I'm going to take Clemson as well. I think Cade is going to shine in this game, just like he did in the ACC championship. And yeah, I'm with you 1,000%. I wish I could give you a different stance on everything and say something that you didn't, but you hit the nail on the head with that one. The interesting thing about this is that Tennessee's team colors are orange, Clemson's orange, and they're playing in what? What bowl, Herb? So go ahead and say
They're
it.
playing at Hard Rock Stadium, Miami, Florida.
In the Orange Bowl.
Do you think that's why they picked them?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they laughed. I'm pretty sure the committee like, oh, this is pretty cool. How did this pan out?
That's us over in the corner picking, and everybody's like, "Why are they laughing?" Like,
and I also heard there was a lot of oranges in Miami.
all right, so we're gonna move on. We'll come back to ours. Music City Bowl. How do you go from like Tennessee? I guess this is the first thing in the morning, and we won't be watching this game
right.
anyway. But Iowa and Kentucky. All you need to know about this game, Raj, the total is 31.5. They don't think
Iowa's not good at scoring. Is Will Levis playing this game?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna go with Kentucky because I know Iowa only averages like 10 points a game.
Did they beat a team like by scoring 2 safeties this year, like 2
yeah,
I mean,
I think it was. Yep.
Yeah, I'm taking Kentucky also. I think even without Levis, they can at least stick around and get something.
They can get at least 2 touchdowns.
But I would definitely think Kentucky would score a touchdown before Iowa, and that might not be. That might be all it takes. You never see that 31 for a college game unless it's a service academies. You don't usually see stuff like that. That's just embarrassing. The Fiesta Bowl. Well, let's cover the rest of it. Yeah, we'll come to the playoffs. Sorry, we'll come to the playoffs. My apologies, everybody. Monday at 11. Now, the after playoff games are always a little interesting because you're like, you've just had the high of the playoff games. You know, they'd be on Saturday. Then the NFL's playing on Sunday this year, so they don't follow each other. And then on Monday, 11 o'clock, you got Mississippi State and Illinois.
Yeah.
Now, hey, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was just our hearts definitely go out to Mississippi State and the family there and Coach Leach. I mean, that was just we're not even going to pick this game. Look, we're just going to say, hey, you know,
right.
Everything that's happened there, man. Leach was an amazing person, amazing man, a great character, and I mean that in a positive sense for what college football is. And just our hearts go out to Mississippi State, man. I think it's admirable that they're still going to play in this game and try to honor his memory, and I think that's all I'm going to say about it personally.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think just for matter because we do it on ESPN, we'll both pick Mississippi State, and best of luck to them. I mean, this is bigger than the game for them for sure. The Citrus Bowl, LSU and Purdue. I don't know what version you get of either one of these two teams. You know,
that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if this is gonna be the LSU team that beat us, and they didn't play well that game that beat us, or is this gonna be the game where I don't know, or the LSU that played Georgia.
Right.
With that being said,
Purdue the same thing. The Purdue that played down to their competition, or the Purdue team that played up to everybody except Michigan. I'm taking LSU in this game mostly because it's I'm
sticking with the SEC
versus Purdue, but LSU could win this one by 20 or could win it by 2. I mean, you just really don't know sometimes. This could be an interesting one. Anytime the group of 5 teams get up to play a power team in the Cotton Bowl, Tulane and USC. I guess Williams' status isn't known because USC is only favored by 1.5.
I know.
Tulane with a much better defense.
Yeah. I'm gonna, you know what? I want to pick Tulane in the upset. I don't know how much of an upset it is if USC is only favored by 1.5, but I'm just gonna pick Tulane.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Tulane.
I think I'm just going to roll with them just because that'll be fun. Now, this is a game I would definitely watch. I think a lot of points will be scored. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Any word on Jordan Addison? Do we know if Jordan Addison's playing? Because I'm pretty sure he's
I would be surprised if he did, though, at this point. They're not in a major bowl.
Right.
You don't know about Caleb Williamson's health. And, he's definitely going to the draft. So
exactly. So
I could see it not. And then that brings us to the Rose Bowl, Monday at 4. Penn State of Utah. I mean, this is just a shock of a bowl,
Yeah.
There was like 2 or 3 different ways this bowl could go, and this was like none of them.
I did not picture Penn State playing in this game, to be honest with you.
And, I mean, Penn State lost to the 2 best teams they played this year. That's their claim to fame.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Utah.
I'm taking Utah. I'm going with Cam Rising.
Like this. If Utah could ever clean up some of the stuff like the Florida loss, they would be in the playoffs. They lose 3 games they should. They back into the Pac-12 championship, and then they win it.
Yeah. So, I agree. I'm going to go with Cam Rising and Utah in that game.
Yeah. You just like saying Cam Rising. Just admit it.
That is a cool name.
It is a cool name.
Yeah.
That guy needs to be an NFL quarterback.
He will win it.
Now that brings us to the playoffs.
All right.
Or do you want to cover Alabama first?
Let's cover Alabama first, just to be fair. Alabama playing in New Orleans at the Sugar Bowl on
We're both playing Alabama. We're both picking Alabama.
Of course.
But we have no idea what version of Alabama we're getting.
Right. We don't know who's going to be playing.
If Will Anderson and Bryce don't play and we lose to Kansas State, I will be using every excuse in the book. Do not care.
Yeah.
Shamelessly telling you. So.
And I think the Alabama being favored by 3, I think that's kind of a sign that we don't know who's going to be playing. And once it's announced that if Bryce doesn't play or Will doesn't play, maybe that goes to like 1.5 or something like that. We don't know. But with that said, we're still going to pick Alabama. But like you said, with the lack of consistency that we've had this year, we don't know what team's going to show up.
Alabama's lost a lot of receivers before this too, but I think that just kind of thins out. I think guys like Prentice and Bond will get a great play in this game.
Yeah. Kendrick Law, Prentice, Bond,
Yep. I like a lot of the younger guys that are in there.
Do too.
Milroe will get some play. I would love to see Simpson in this game.
I want to see Simpson in more than I do Milroe because we kind of have an idea of what Milroe can do, but I just don't think Ty has been given it. And when you're the 3rd string quarterback, you're never going to have enough opportunity to prove yourself. So this might be the game where we actually see both of them, where Ty actually be able to throw the ball and see if we can throw the ball down the field.
Yep, I would love to see that. But I'm picking Alabama anyway. I think the talent should win out. And I think some of the coordinators have a little stuff to prove here. And I think the transfers are maybe actually good because now some guys are moving up the depth chart and they're going to get a chance to play. So taking Alabama. That gets us to the playoffs. First is the Fiesta Bowl, Saturday afternoon. TCU at Michigan. TCU with a great story. Duggan, man, if you didn't fall in love with that guy against a K-State, you don't like college football.
He gave it all.
He did.
During that game.
Having said that, shout out to Ahoda.
Yeah.
Michigan should win this one. I think they take it away in the 4th quarter, win by double digits.
I think Michigan's defense is going to help them win this game. And shout out to the Michigan's backup running back, was Donovan Edwards. That guy can run. He's a good runner. So they got a good backup. Of course, Blake Gorham out of the year with the knee injury. So with that being said, I think Michigan's going to win this game by 10.
I do. I think this is a better version of Michigan than they had last year, and they're on a nice little run here.
Yeah.
This is one of those games that TCU really does not want to fall behind early like they have been doing because Michigan, with that run game, can really shorten the game for you towards the end. So TCU's going to have to come out punching, but I just think Michigan wins this game.
I agree.
The beginning of the playoffs, if you had told us Georgia and Ohio State were going to play, you would have thought that was the final game, the championship game, not the first round game.
Yeah.
Because the different things that would have happened for this to be a first round game, you'd have been like, really? So having said all that, I mean, Georgia's just been the most consistent. Well, I shouldn't say consistent. They've played up.
They've been the most dominant. They've
been dominant against good competition.
Yes. Kent State, Missouri, those kind of games were kind of lackluster, and I don't know if they were just bored, but they didn't really play Georgia football in those games. But they handled Tennessee, they handled LSU in the SEC championship. I just think that Kirby Smart is going to have those guys ready defensively. They'll probably run the same type of defense they played against Tennessee, and just try to lock up C.J. Stroud as much as they can. With that being said, I want Ohio State to win because I don't want Georgia to repeat. I really don't want that to happen. And I feel like Ohio State's the last chance we have to beat them. But Georgia's going to win this game.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, a lot of the stuff you said, I think Georgia takes this one too as well. And I think we're leading to the same place here. I just think Georgia beats Michigan.
I think so. Georgia's going to finish the season undefeated, back-to-back champs. They're going to beat Michigan. We're on the same plane here. I thought Ohio State was going to beat Michigan, in their regular season matchup. I was surprised to see that happen. So still, Michigan finishing strong though. Only losing one game, and that's in the championship game. That's pretty good season for Michigan and Harbaugh. And keep in mind, a lot of people thought Harbaugh was going to get fired. Was it 1 or 2 years ago? Because we thought he was going to lose Ohio State again, but he's won back-to-back games for the rivalry matchup and back-to-back Big Ten champions. So
back-to-back playoff berths. So you got to give him credit. Give credit where credit is due, and give credit to the administration for sticking with him. That was a spot where a lot of teams would have went ahead and pulled the trigger. But honestly, I thought they were like, I don't know that we can get better anyway, so let's just stick with what we got. So, and it paid off. So we mentioned this off air real quick. What bowl game or games are you most looking forward to?
And with that being said, we're not selecting the Alabama-Kansas State game because that's obviously the one game we know we're going to be watching.
Right.
For me, it was a toss-up between two games, the Orange Bowl and the Peach Bowl.
Yeah, especially if Hendon Hooker was playing, this would maybe be my favorite game, Tennessee versus Clemson. And what was your second game?
No, it was the Orange Bowl and the Peach, the Ohio State Georgia game.
Yes.
I feel like I know what I'm going to get out of the Peach Bowl with Ohio State and Georgia. I think it's going to be closer earlier on, but then Georgia starts to pull away. I don't know what I'm going to get out of the Tennessee Clemson game. That could be a really high-scoring game on both ends. Or, I don't know, maybe Joseph Milton messes up, throws a few interceptions, and maybe it's not as entertaining. So
is he Joseph now? He's not Joe Milton, he's Joseph?
Joseph, we're going with full name. So I would say out of those two games, it's kind of even. It's kind of 50-50. If I had to pick one, I would just go with the Peach Bowl because of its matchup and it being a Final Four matchup. I'll go with that game, but the Orange Bowl is going to be exciting.
Yep. I agree. I think both you had really great picks. I wish Hooker. And by the way, I do wish him a speedy recovery as well.
Yeah.
And I hope it doesn't impact his NFL future. I hope
right. After seeing the year he had, it was tough to see him with that injury. So we both hope that he recovers really, really fast.
Yep. Two minor games up under. Actually, 3 games, Raj. I'm gonna give you to follow those two because I think you have great picks there. Oregon, North Carolina. If you like offense.
Yes.
We'll definitely be watching that one.
Yes.
Notre Dame, South Carolina.
Yep.
Just kind of because is Notre Dame going to finish the season strong? How is Beamer Ball going to go? Because they're always a great time. And then Tulane, USC. Because anytime you get those little group of 5 games, getting it to play against a Power 5, I think you see some stuff. I think Tulane is probably – all those plays that you were just talking about, Boise State, you're going to see some craziness in the Tulane game. Plus, USC just doesn't play good defense. So I think Tulane has a great shot in this game. So
I'll definitely have those games on the list. So
I think those are the 300. So, Raj, the bowl specials in the book. How do you feel? Are you tired? Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm feeling good, and I'm highly anticipating a lot of these matchups. So I'm looking forward to some of the games starting this weekend and definitely going into next week too.
Mm-hmm. As always, please like and subscribe if you're on our YouTube part. Subscribe to us if you're listening on the podcast. And please, somebody out there, leave us some comments on what you think the bet should be for the loser of the bowl pick. So Roger and I'll be entering in all our picks on ESPN, so anybody can view them when they see. And if you're following my picks, I'm sorry for you. It's not going to end well for you.
But most of our picks are pretty even. There's a few here and there where we kind of differ, but yeah.
And our analysis was just spot on every single game.
Oh my God. Best analysis ever.
I mean, honestly, the weeks and the months we spent researching stats and watching
years.
Game tape.
Yeah, we knew these games were going to happen years in advance.
Well, we did. And I've been watching future. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
I was not watching Star Wars this afternoon. I was watching game tape, Raj. Promise.
Okay. I got you.
I
Hey, man, force me with you.
So, for the Herbert Raj podcast, and if you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you guys listening. As always, have a wonderful night, and
roll tide,
everybody.